Hello, this is the TradeSite US Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Thursday, the 5th of March and Friday, the 6th of March, 2020. As usual, we don't typically do a market preview for Friday unless there's a special reason. Even though it's been a volatile 2 weeks, the last day didn't really indicate that this Friday is going to be anything special, so I don't expect to do one for tomorrow night. So this will suffice for the rest of the week. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. It's the daily chart of the broad market in futures form, and as you can see, obviously we've gap down, and we pushed down hard last week, and we've tried to recover here, and we'll talk about the fibs and the 50% retracement points over the weekend. But essentially, actually, let's just do it right now. Let's look at this. So the way this works is if you set the fib from the high to the whatever, right, to the low of the session of the drop, right, what you got is that the high literally we closed under the 50%, but the high on Tuesday was exactly the 61.8% fib. Can't make that up, and 50% is what we're stuck under. We haven't closed above that. So that's kind of typical of the first wave down. Doesn't mean we're done. Matter of fact, typically speaking, you're not done, so just keep that in mind. Let's keep watching. Let's go through the daily charts. Crude oil up 67 cents now to 47.44. So, crude oil is down obviously near lows, and that's good for, I guess, a lot of things in the economy, right? Gold up, down $3.80 off the highs. S&P cash gained 126.75. Nasdaq 100 up 354.79. The stocks up 84.31. The biotech's up 166.55, back to approaching the highs already. Russell 2000 gains 45 point whatever, and this is still near the lows of the last 6 months. The VIX down 4.3. Remember, the VIX got over 40. It also swept it twice, but once the VIX gets over 40, that tends to be what we look for as a bottom in the market, at least short term. Trend 1.43, that puts the 10-day. I'm sorry, 1.01 puts the 10-day at 1.43. Nasdaq volume was 3.6 billion shares, so the up day was way lower than the down volume. Advanced decline ratio on the Nasdaq was plus 1782. That's one of the strongest of the last year. On the New York, plus 2003. That is the strongest of the last year. Google gains 43.88. That's still well off the highs. Apple up 13.42. Trying to get back to the highs. Netflix up 15.02. Amazon up 66.84, not near the highs yet. Tesla up 3.99, but this had that big 13 sell signal. Facebook up 5.87. Goldman Sachs gains 5.31. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, down a point, and the Dow Jones was up 1,173. But keep in mind, this is still this thing dropped 5,000 points, and it's only 2,000 back. So, that's where we're at on the Dow in terms of intraday action, just so you can see it. So, we've had 3 days so far this week. So Monday, we kind of opened fairly flat and filled the gap, a little gap up, filled it quick, and then rallied and closed positive. Tuesday, wiggled around a lot, the Fed announcement, then we closed negative. Wednesday, we gapped up. Most of the day was so boring. Going into lunch, we hadn't gone anywhere. It was sleep time, watching paint dry. And then we popped up a little bit over lunch and then dead flat for more hours. And it wasn't until the last 40 minutes that we kind of made this late move that posted most of the gains that occurred other than the gap itself, right? But now we're showing the futures down for tomorrow morning, so who knows what this means. Obviously, this is a different environment. You got to be very careful. In terms of economic data coming out for the rest of the week, let's go through it. Let's go over it. Let's see what we got. So we've got OPEC meetings starting. We've got challenger job cuts at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, revised non-farm productivity and unit labor costs, along with the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims numbers at 8:30 a.m. Thursday morning. Factory orders in natty gas at 10. We got a bunch of Fed members speaking throughout the evening. Friday, unemployment rate and trade balance, two of our big three. So if you were in Forex, we'd be half size ahead of that, but it's likely to cause a gap. Could be an interesting gap. Final wholesale inventories and consumer credit in the afternoon. So that's the rest of the week, and then we will reset over the weekend as everybody continues to focus on the coronavirus and what that means for everything else moving forward. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading Thursday and Friday.